Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit. I have been away, I've been traveling, and it is now Christmas Eve and I have a little bit of time now to actually sit down and talk to you guys about what went down on our trip. And the first video I'm going to go through with you guys is just a review of WestJet and a review of the flight that we went on, which was specifically WestJet Premium. So I'll tell you a little bit about the background, a little bit about the story of how we ended up flying this way. This honestly is just not the typical way that we fly. The way that we normally fly is we do go on WestJet, but we usually do economy, obviously, like a lot of people do. We will do typically an upgrade because both of us are very tall. We'll upgrade to a exit row seat. Some of you are probably thinking that exit row is kind of scary, and I agree with you. Sometimes it can be, but we've had no problems so far, knock on wood. So it hasn't been an issue for us. We'll pay for that upgrade so that we get that little bit of extra leg room. And honestly, I would recommend that for sure any other time. So I'll go into a little bit about the last time we went on WestJet Premium, and that was a little bit of a weird circumstance too. So typically with WestJet, when you're booking, you'll see a couple of different options. There will be your economy, your bare bones basic. Typically you get a personal item that you put under your seat, and then you get a carry-on luggage that you can put like in the storage compartments above your head. And then you'll have your economy flex, which will give you a little bit more flexibility if you need to cancel or if you need to change your seats or what have you. There's a little bit more flexibility there. And then you'll have your premium or your business class. And so your premium is basically on most flights. WestJet has your economy seating, and then it has changed, modified its planes from the previous arrangement so that it has a couple of rows of larger seats, and it is typically in 2-seat kind of fashion instead of your typical 3 seats. And it gives you more room. You get more leg room, you get more room on your sides, and then you also get more services with that as well. You get a meal, you get extra snacks, you get unlimited drinks, all of that jazz. So that's your premium seating. And then you'll have your business class, which I know nothing about because it is completely out of my price range. And I think most people's price range, honestly, it's kind of outrageous. So, and typically those aren't on flights that are domestic or to the US from Canada, but they are whatever, if you're going to Europe or if you're going a little bit of a longer haul flight, you'll see business being an option. So we had the luxury and the privilege of being able to fly on premium twice now. And again, both crazy circumstances, a little bit weird. So our first flight that we flew premium last time when we were flying back from San Diego to Winnipeg, we had a layover in Calgary, and that one that one was a little bit of a weird circumstance. I was booking it and I was looking at, typically when you look at the options, you'll see your economy flex, premium. Economy will be, say for example, $200. Premium will be $1,200, $2,100. Like it's something outrageous, like something where it does not make sense for you to book like premium right away. Like you're gonna book economy. There's no world where you're jumping from $200 to $1,200 and feeling comfortable with that if you're going on a trip that you have a budget for. So again, did not book premium. I usually don't book premium right away. In this circumstance, I think our flight, like the total round trip, ended up being economy. We always book economy flex because we want to be able to pick our seats and have that flexibility of cancellations. So it's a little bit more expensive than economy, but not a crazy amount more expensive. So I think that the economy flex at that time was about $484 round trip. Oh no, I lied. It was about $424 round trip, and then the premium ended up being like $484 round trip. Like typically you're looking at that, you're gonna see $400 and you're gonna see $1,400. You're gonna see some sort of large jump between economy and premium. That time, that wasn't there, that wasn't the case. So we ended up booking that because like, why not pay a little bit extra? Like a tiny bit extra and get that premium seating. So that's what we did. And it was awesome. Like, it was a good time. And so, and we also not only got our premium from San Diego to Calgary, we also got it from Calgary to Winnipeg as well. So we got it on both flights. So it was really fun to have that experience and to be able to do that and not have to spend a crazy amount of money to get that privilege. So that was really fun for us. This time, I just did not think we were going to do that at all. So we booked everything economy, flex, again, same thing, pay a little tiny bit more so that we have the ability to cancel our flights if needed, or pick our seats, whatever, what have you. And we were able to get the exit row seats on all of our flights like we normally do. And then there was one time, I'll tell you why we do this the way that we do. You can book your seats for free 24 hours before, but we have gotten into the situation where we were not able to get the exit rows. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes you can get the exit rows 24 hours before, no problem, but we did get into a situation where the exit rows were booked when we went to go check in for our flights, and that was not a fun flight for us. There was 3 grown people, and it's not even so much for me about the legroom. It is for my husband, absolutely. It's mostly about me and him both have very wide shoulders. So if you get another adult with wide shoulders in the 3rd seat, it is not comfortable for anyone. So I'd rather just book a seat where we are all gonna be comfortable, and so that's what we do. We do the exit row seats. So we were able to get our exit row seats on all of our flights to and from Orlando, and that was awesome. Like, we were happy about that. We did book everything with points, so the flight was essentially free. Like, I think I had to pay $100 in like taxes or something like that. It wasn't very much money. So we were very like lucky in that way. I did take advantage of a credit card deal. So honestly, guys, look for those credit card deals. I got a whole bunch of points when I signed up for a credit card, when I was approved for a credit card, and that just allowed us to go to Orlando for essentially free, which was amazing. If you're curious to know which credit card that was, I can talk to you about it, but again, I'm not like sponsored or anything. I always, every single flight that we have, even if we are booked in the seats that we want, I will take a look at the premium option. So you do, after you book your flights, have the option to bid on the premium seats, because again, not a lot of people are buying those seats for the full price. Like, that's just not happening. So you have the option to bid on the seats. And typically when you look to bid, it's kind of outrageous. Like, you've already paid whatever, the amount that you paid for your round trip flight, and then on top of that, they want you to pay, say, $130, $200 more to have this premium seat. And to me, that just doesn't seem worth it most of the time. So this time, because we booked with points, it was essentially free. I looked at the premium option to see how much it would be. And for our flight from Winnipeg to Orlando, we had a direct flight, and it ended up being only $95 a person. And that seemed really low. That was the lowest I had ever seen the premium bid go. So I'm like, I talked to my husband and I was just like, well, maybe we should bid on it and see. Like, we already have a free flight. The $95 honestly might be worth it. It was over, like, our flight was over supper. So we're people who, like, we kind of need to like keep our meals in check, because we'll get like super grumpy if we're not eating on a regular schedule like we normally do. And so to keep ourselves sane and in check during the flight, it honestly seemed worth it to have a meal available. In our airport, and in the US terminal, there isn't much going on there for food. And like, once we got there, we saw that there were so many people already eating at the restaurant. So it just like made sense for us to have a meal on the flight. And it is expensive in economy to pay for those meals, and you're not even getting like what they would get in premium either. So it's honestly, it just seemed like it was worth it to us. Typically, what we would do if we were at the airport and we were going to be flying over a meal, we would go to Tim's, get a get a sandwich rather, and that just wasn't an option. There just isn't those options in the terminal we were going to be in this time. So we decided that it just made sense for us. Maybe we'll bid and we'll see how it goes. And so we did. I put in the minimum bid of $95 per seat, which was honestly, in my mind, worth it. You get that extra leg room, you get the extra room on your seat. You only get to sit with your partner, which is nice. You get the unlimited drinks, so you get the snacks, you get the meal. It seemed worth it. So I put the bid in and just let it be. If we got it, we got it. If we didn't, not a big deal. So then the next day, I got a notification saying that I was outbid and that I had the opportunity to up my bid. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be in this seat for the amount that I want to be in it for. And if I'm not, then I'm not. Then I don't care. Like, I still have a comfortable seat waiting for me. I'm not mad about that. I just let it be. I just waited. And then the next day, I got a notification saying that our bid was accepted and that we were able to fly on premium again. And that was super exciting for me and exciting for my husband. And yeah, then we got to have that experience again. So if you guys don't know what WestJet is, maybe you're not from Canada, WestJet is kind of the second big, like in my lifetime, it's the second big airline company to come to Canada, to be established in Canada. The first one is Air Canada. That's a very well-known airline company. And then the next one was WestJet. I don't know all the background on WestJet. I haven't done that research. They are a newer airline in Canada. It seemed like over COVID, and I think for a lot of, over the pandemic, for a lot of flights, they just kind of like dwindled down, and it seemed like we had a lot of options before the pandemic, and now we're starting to get those options back for where we can go with WestJet. I've flown WestJet for a very long time. Like in my adult life, me and my husband have only flown WestJet. We haven't really flown Air Canada much, and I'm definitely open to doing that, but WestJet has always been good to us, and we've always had a good time flying with them, so we kind of just don't really want to switch it up if we have had only good experiences. I know people have had very, very bad experiences with them, and I know that there's been horror stories, and I know that they aren't like the best airline company in the world by any means, but they're affordable for Canadians, and they get the job done most of the time. So you can't really ask for anything different. And yeah, so I will, I guess, go into the review of WestJet and WestJet Premium and how that went for us this time. So the check-in process is pretty simple. It's the same, you do it online. And I think I've talked to you about this in my previous video, but we only do carry-ons. So one thing that you do get with Premium is you do get a free checked bag, you get a carry-on, you get your personal item. We only travel with carry-ons and a personal item. So we'll take a carry-on and a backpack with us, and that's more than enough that we need for a week. And then we can just go straight through security to the gate, and we don't have to worry about going to the counter, printing our luggage tag, checking our bag, getting a bag lost or anything like that. We don't have to worry about that. So we always have our stuff on us at all times. And that's kind of the way that I like to travel, because it's just easy and convenient. You can go straight through security, you don't have to worry about it. So you check in with the WestJet app, you get your boarding passes on your phone, and again, you just go straight through security and use those boarding passes to get to the gate. And so that's what we do. We do get priority boarding when you're in Premium, and also when you're in the exit rows, you also get priority boarding because they have to go through the safety procedures with you. If you're in Premium, you also get to go onto the flight a little bit sooner, which is nice because then there is no worry about having to store your carry-on anywhere but above your head. That's one of the things that we came across when we were flying on a really full flight one time, is that we had to store our luggage in the very back of the plane because there was no more room where we were seated, and that kind of sucked. But yeah, if you're flying with Premium, you do not have to worry about that. So we got on the plane, and obviously we had like a ton of leg room, which is really nice. You'll see in a clip that I'll put in, I'll insert somewhere here. You'll just see that we had a lot of leg room. It's a very, very roomy flight. One thing that you are greeted with is a bottle of water immediately, and then also you get your menu that you can look over so that you can pick your meal. You're gonna need to pick your meal pretty early on in the flight. I think they ask you for that almost right away. They'll ask you for it with your drink. On our flight, we had a small plate of Greek salad. We had barbecue chicken breast, teriyaki stir fry, and then a Canadian cake. Oh, that's interesting. It's Canadian cake. Okay, so it ended up being a blueberry cake. And let me tell you, this blueberry cake was so, so good. It was probably the best thing about the meal. It was moist, it was delicious. It was amazing. I ended up getting the barbecue chicken breast, and the barbecue chicken breast was moist. My husband didn't get it because he thought it was going to be dry, which I totally understand. Going on an airplane, getting airplane food, probably not the best quality food. And like, it wasn't amazing quality, but the chicken breast was moist. It was not dry at all. I was very impressed with that. He ended up getting the teriyaki stir fry, and he said that he didn't realize that it was going to be a vegetarian option, but he's a really big meat guy, so the fact that there was no meat in there was a little bit of a bummer for him, that the only meat option was the chicken breast. He thought there was going to be some sort of like beef or something in the stir fry, which is totally understandable. I totally get that. But he realized that that actually wasn't the case. So on this menu, they also have the wine and beverage list. And you can see that there is the Bottega Prosecco, which is what I got, and is so, so, so good. I had a couple of glasses of that and it was delicious. They have a red, white, and rosé option. They have your basic vodka, white rum, spiced rum, gin, whiskey, a couple of whiskey options, and also a cream rum. Then they have a couple of beer options as well, and then also, of course, your non-alcoholic options too. So that is the menu for WestJet Premium. Nothing spectacular, nothing amazing, but definitely a benefit that you don't get in the economy class that is something that's nice to have for sure when you're on a flight, especially when you're on a flight over supper time. We all need to keep fed and happy, especially when you're on a flight with your partner over supper time. One thing that I really, really liked about being in this particular spot was that we had 2 windows. I was so happy about that. Now both me and my husband could look out the windows at the same time, because typically I'll be like, my face plastered up against the window the whole time, and now he actually had the opportunity to look out the other window, which was really nice. I mean, obviously right now you're looking at desolate Winnipeg. It's cold, it's snowy, and you just want to get out of there and say goodbye to that and head to Orlando, where it is nice and warm and sunny. Early on, what they do is they bring you your cutlery and they'll bring you a placemat so that the stuff that you have on your tray table is not gonna fly away or anything. It's kind of a sticky feeling placemat. The one different thing that is in these seats is that your tray table does not fold down from your front. It actually comes out from your armrest, which is really nice. Because then you can just get rid of it if you don't want it. But it's something that I didn't know about. It, like, your armrest like flips up this way, and then your tray table like folds and then folds again out in front of you. So that's really interesting, a little bit different if you have never flown in the premium seats before. And then they came out around and gave us, I think they came around and gave us this. They gave us both cookies and pretzels. You know, you have to choose cookies or pretzels in the economy class. That's typical. But if you're flying in premium, you don't have to choose. You get both automatically. So not long after that, we got our meals prepared for us. Like I said before, my husband got a stir fry. I got the chicken. And then they also came with a biscuit, which was really surprisingly good, and a salad, like a very, very fresh salad. And that was so, so nice, because I feel like when I'm traveling, when I'm on trips, I do not eat enough vegetables, and I just felt like this was kind of like a start of kind of eating healthy, like trying to get your vegetables in at least. And maybe you're not eating like healthy, you're having the unhealthy options, but then you also have your vegetables to give your body some sort of nutrients. So I felt like that was really, really nice. They give you a little salt and pepper, and just in case, like, I think nothing salted enough, which is fine, because then you can choose how much salt you want to put on things. And so you get a little tiny salt and pepper shaker. And then, yeah, you get your bun and butter, and then that blueberry cake. My goodness, so, so good. 10 out of 10 on the blueberry cake. I was just really impressed with this meal. I thought it was good for airplane meal quality. It wasn't Again, it wasn't crazy, it wasn't anything spectacular, but it still was good. It was still enjoyable. It wasn't inedible by any means. And then me and my husband are just clinking our glasses, having a good time, enjoying the start of our vacation, and being able to enjoy that from premium seating, from somewhere that we never thought that we were going to be again. I thought that I got lucky the first time, and now I got lucky again. So I just feel like this is something that is definitely achievable, is definitely something that almost anyone can do if you just like search for what you're looking for, and just keep at it. Like, you might not get premium every single flight. We flew back economy on the way back, and that's a whole nother story that I won't go into right now, but because it was a little bit crazy. But we flew back economy and it was completely fine. Like, and I'm completely fine with that. I just feel like premium is a treat that you can get if you look hard enough, and if you keep checking back and keep looking at different flights. I think that anyone can get into premium if you just try a little bit. But with that, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into my first video of our Orlando trip. I think that you've picked up on that by now, that we went to Orlando, and specifically we went for a Disney cruise. So there's a little bit of a give on what my next video is going to be about. Our Disney cruise. It was so much fun. We had such a great time. I'm so excited to share some of that stuff with you. I got quite a few clips, and I'm just going to be doing the same format where I'm going to be talking to you guys about how that went. As far as WestJet Premium, I would say that if you do get a deal, it is definitely worth it. If you do find those deals where it's not very much more money than the economy, if you do find something where your bid isn't going to be something detrimental to you, it's going to be worth it to you, then absolutely this is worth it, because you do get that extra room. You do get some extra flexibility with your luggage and with your cancellation, all of that. You do get some more flexibility than your regular economy. So I would definitely say that it is worth it in that sense. But if you're paying full price for it, absolutely not. Do not even go for it. You will be sadly disappointed. It's something that's worth it if you're able to get a deal for it. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really appreciate it. Merry Christmas for everyone who celebrates Christmas. Happy holidays for the rest, whatever holiday you guys celebrate. Thank you for tuning in again to my video. I really, really appreciate that. And I hope to see you next time. And we will talk about, oh my goodness, I just sounded so Canadian there. And we will talk about our trip and how that went. And I'll talk about what happened on our way back from Orlando, because it was a little bit of a crazy ride. Did not expect any of that. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. Thank you guys so much, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.